and welcome to Shitfic. Last week on Shitfic, Christopher and Michael read scripts.
That is what this podcast is about. we do read scripts. If you haven't tuned into Shitfic before, this is a podcast where we read old writings from middle school, high school, when we were kids in elementary school, and we laugh at them and we learn from them. And we realize that as young creatives, what you start off creating isn't always great, but it's important because you learn from it. Go ahead.
For me? Okay.
Go ahead,
okay, very exciting.
I just did a lot of talking. It's your turn.
And we have an extra special episode. This is the Halloween episode, although not officially. From what I see, it's not very spooky. But this is the unofficial Halloween episode because we have a very, very, very special guest. The one, the only, Shira Cortez!
Hello, thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Welcome. We are very excited to have you on the podcast.
The podcast,
Would you like to explain your relationship with the one, Shira Cortez?
Honestly, I don't even know where we first met. I feel like you and I, our social circles have clashed so many times. I don't even remember.
So the first time that we met was at a mutual friend's wedding.
Was it the wedding that
It was the wedding, yeah. Do you think we met before that?
I thought it was before then.
Okay, well, the first time I met you then was at a mutual friend's wedding.
So creepy.
We were both vaguely in the bridal party. We were both vaguely in the wedding party. But what else? It's funny because we both worked at the same places, but just not at the same time.
Yep.
So we have it's a very interesting. We've been going in circles around each other. We've been circling the drain of each other, and
yeah.
Now we're down the toilet. I guess I don't know. Or down the sink.
Metaphor.
This is welcome to Shitfic, folks.
Welcome to Shitfic. Yes, apparently this is the Halloween episode because my writing is scary bad.
Yeah. That's what we're looking for.
Absolutely.
Folks. So why don't you tell us? How do we start?
So usually we get a little background of these scripts. So give us a brief explanation of it, as well as some backstory of where you were at when you were writing it.
Absolutely.
What age you were, what you were thinking at the time, just kind of what inspired it.
Was it produced? Because apparently I'm the only one who can't produce anything.
Yeah, was it produced as well? Give us all the juicy details.
Yeah, I have all of the juice for you. So I was taking a film class at the local arts high school over the summer. I did not go to the school, but I was there for the summer program. And I was taking this film class, as I mentioned, and we had to write 10-minute scripts. And I wrote this as a little, was I 13 or 14 at that point? I was 13 going on 14, about to enter high school, a very precarious age. I thought I was everything and nothing. So I think that this really exemplifies that. At the time I wrote it, it was one idea. They just said, take an idea and run with it. I hated it. When I wrote it, I was like, this is not good. And I'm here today on Shitfic with it, which I think is the best conclusion to the story.
Maybe there'll be a reverse psychology. Because you hated it then, you're gonna love it now. You're gonna be like,
I'm gonna be so protective of it. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, how dare you come for my script, actually.
I've been waiting for that episode.
You were on the wrong podcast.
I want the episode where one of us is like, no, this is actually the best thing I've written.
Oh my gosh.
I only brought this on so you would compliment it.
I want to say before we start, it was summer 2013. I believe the Avengers were doing something at that time. And I want us to read this knowing that I think I wrote this for Scarlett Johansson and Chris Evans.
That is beautiful. That makes this whole thing the best.
Okay, good.
So excited to read So we dedicate this episode to Chris Evans
and
Scarlett
ScarJo.
Johansson. Now that we've learned a little bit about this script, do you want to, before we start reading it, do you want to tell us a little bit about like yourself?
Yeah. So while I do write on occasion, I am primarily an actor, a musical theater actor. I am currently still in school at Columbia College. But when people ask, I do tell them that it is the Chicago branch of the Ivy League because it makes people think I'm cooler than I am. And yeah, that's kind of who I am right now, writing a little bit on the side, but mostly just kind of singing and dancing into my computer.
I mean, that's how like people get famous nowadays. So like, keep on at it.
Yes.
I'm glad we got this exclusive interview before you blow
Oh my
up.
God, I know. It's yeah, it's crazy. I am gonna be so big.
All right, so now that we've got all the intros out of the way, should we jump into the script?
Oh please.
Chris and I will do the dialogue.
Okay.
Yeah, and you'll read all the stage directions.
Well, what if
or
she's
whatever.
ScarJo? She could be ScarJo.
Are you Scarlett Johansson?
Do you feel...
If you want me to be Scarlett Johansson, I will be Scarlett Johansson, but I don't need to be anything that I'm not.
Wonderful. Yeah, so if you want to do that,
we can go, yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and just jump right in.
All right.
If you would like to introduce your script,
Yes.
feel free.
This is Knockout by Shira Cortez, a Shira Cortez film. Here we go.
Copyrighted.
Fade in, interior
Trademark.
living room, day. There is a Christmas tree in the corner of the room with presents underneath it. On the beige walls, there are seasonal decorations and framed pictures of a man. Two kids are crowding around the tree, surrounded by presents and wrapping paper as their parents watch, smiling. Zoom into one of the kids, Lucas. He picks up a box, hopefully, and rips into it. Lucas is a little boy around 10 or 11 who has a dark bowl cut reminiscent of the early 90s. You see his
Bowl cuts always get a laugh.
you see his disappointment when he opens the package.
Okay.
Before we read this, though, I'd like to point out that we said this is our Halloween special. This is very clearly a
This is
Christmas
a Christmas movie, yeah.
That just made me giggle. Anyway, continue being young Lucas, Chris.
Oh, I'm the main character, folks. Oh my god. Oh, wait. Oh, that did not sound
O.
right.
Keep in mind he's 10 or 11.
Different
That
O.
young Lucas does not have to do that. Oh Lord. Okay, try.
He's not that kind of disappointed.
Oh, is he gay? Is young Lucas gay? Different from old Lucas. Old Lucas is a homo, but young Lucas is...
Straight as a rail,
Chris is putting
yeah.
himself really into the character here.
I gotta know his motivations, folks.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I gotta know his motivations.
Okay, he picks up the boxing gloves and tries to smile.
Your old boxing gloves. Thanks, Dad.
The camera turns to Lucas's dad, who's beaming at his son. The dad's name is Lucas's dad.
Perfect. They were my first pair. I got them when I was around your age. I was thinking maybe I could take you to the gym next week.
Young Lucas?
Yeah, sure. Sounds great. Dad? Can I go put these in my room?
Lucas's dad, off screen.
Yeah, sure, buddy.
Lucas stands up and gives his father a small smile before heading off to his room. A hand pulls him aside
my
when he
small
gets to the stairs, excuse me. The camera turns to see Lucas's mom, who is smiling at him. Lucas's mom.
I have a surprise for you in the garage.
Lucas grins and hugs his mom.
Hug myself. Come on!
Interior garage day. The garage has 2 cars in it and has shelves littered with trophies and tools. Lucas's mom hands him a medium-sized wrapped box with a bow on it. He is beaming with excitement as he opens it. Lucas's mom.
Merry Christmas, Luke.
Also, I just noticed that the mom has a pretty decent chunk of dialogue down here, and Chris is committed to this high-pitched voice, so his throat is about to die.
Oh,
Absolutely,
Lord.
I love that. Lucas sees his gift, a baking cookbook, and grins widely and hugs his mother tightly.
So
His
he
mother
is a
smiles.
homo.
Lucas's mom.
I like... What? No, here at Shitfig, we do not say all homos bake, but all bakers are homos. Just kidding, just kidding.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
I don't know. It was a great joke, everybody. Please type in the comments. how much you like that joke.
Lucas's mom.
Look, sweetie, your father has the best of intentions. You must know that. He only wants what he thinks the best for you. Though just between you and me, I think he's going about it wrong. We just want you to be happy. And if this makes you happy, then we're all for it. Okay?
Lucas smiles at her. Young Lucas.
Thanks, Mom.
Interior bakery day.
Young Lucas is so angsty.
Interior bakery day. Close up of an oven. It is opened by a man's arm and takes cookies out of it.
Just one
Single cookie.
One single cookie he is practicing. The camera pans out and you see Lucas, now a handsome man in his late 20s with overgrown dark hair, put the cookies on a cooling rack. You can hear...
Nothing's better than a hot man with a tray of cookies.
I was
just
13.
saying.
Leave me alone.
Keep in mind, Lucas is probably Chris Evans, is what I'm imagining.
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
imagining shirtless Chris Evans in an apron carrying...
I didn't say shirtless, but if you want to imagine that...
I definitely did.
We're workshopping this. Live workshopping session.
Absolutely. Okay, I'll write it. I'll edit it now. After how many years has it been? 7 years? After 7 years. Just adds one word. Just hot. You can hear the sounds of an urban street. He goes to the door to flip the sign to open and looks out hopefully. You can see the street. The buildings around it are run down and old. They are covered in graffiti and flyers. The streets haven't been repaved in a while and are littered with cigarette butts and discarded needles, among other things.
I just imagine this bakery is just the most pristine, cute little bakery on the side of the road. And it's just surrounded by, people being shot. And it's just, damn.
I mean, that's probably what I was thinking at the time. This is probably what I thought, a low-rent neighborhood was in terms of, shops. He goes back to the display case and nervously fixes it. Suddenly, the sound of a bell is heard. Lucas's head shoots up and sees the group of people who enter. Lucas.
Hello. Well, do you want to be old Lucas?
Do you want? I can be old Lucas since you were young Lucas.
Maybe.
Would you like to continue being Lucas?
Which one of us is more Chris Evans?
Well, I think you might want to do the ScarJo part, Chris.
You know what? You got it. You know what? Done, folks. Done.
So I'll be Chris Evans. You'll be ScarJo.
Sounds good. Remember my characterization? He's angsty. Maybe he's grown out of it, but it's transformed into a different kind of angst. A more Chris Evans style angst.
Absolutely.
Hello. Welcome to Weber's Bakery. What can I do for you today?
Camera moves to a group of teenagers. They are hipsters and aren't paying attention to him. They are admiring the display and chatting about it.
Hipster what? I have got to Instagram this.
Hipster 1 takes out her phone and starts to take pictures of it. The others follow suit. Lucas watches them with a polite smile. Lucas.
They're as good as they look. Only $2.99.
They look at him weirdly. Hipster 2.
Let's go. I like how they're written like a middle-aged man writes a hipster teenager.
Absolutely, except I was a child writing a hipster teenager. I love that I have the same voice as a middle-aged man. I think that makes a lot of sense. Lucas watches them leave, confused. Lucas.
Have a nice day.
Lucas goes back to his work, and after a little while, hears the bell again. His head shoots up hopefully, but when he sees the person who enters, he looks nervous. It is his landlord, Lucas.
His landlord is coming into his place of work, or is this the landlord for the bakery?
For the bakery.
Oh, okay. I thought his apartment landlord was just showing up.
It was like, hey, Lucas, when are you gonna pay me for this month? Yeah.
I cannot imagine.
Your landlord would probably not show up to your place of work.
This is the hard streets.
You're right. I forgot the description of the
seedy streets. Yeah.
He's the needle landlord.
He's the needle landlord. Okay, landlord. Oh no, sorry, excuse me, Lucas.
Look, I just need a few more weeks and then I can pay. Business has just been really slow lately and...
Landlord.
Isn't it always? I want to help you out. You're a good kid, but it doesn't look too good. If I don't get my money, soon we may have to put this shop out of its misery. I really don't want to do this, but you'll have to face the facts, kid. I added kid. This isn't working out for you. maybe something else will.
I feel like that voice developed as you read. It started off as one thing and ended as a completely different.
That is every time I do an accent, folks.
It's true.
Children.
Absolutely. Yes, it was great. Okay. The landlord looks at him with pity and leaves a discouraged Lucas to his thoughts. Interior bakery night.
The landlord is like, look, we might have to close your shop. All right, have a nice day.
All right,
see you later, bud. Like,
bye, folks.
That was his whole business. His whole purpose for being there was to just be a jerk.
Listen up, buddy. I came all the way down here from my office, and I just wanted to tell you to your face, I need the money. Okay, bye.
Just letting you know that your shop sucks, and I'm gonna close it down. Bye. Don't need anything else. You want these boxing gloves? I'm hoping that comes.
You know, that's a little foreshadowing there. Interior bakery night. Ooh.
Oh my god, this is the first time we've had foreshadowing.
That's right.
Any of our scripts.
All of the other scripts have been so bad that there's no foreshadowing. It's all just in your face.
Right by the seat of our pants.
Interior bakery night. The bell rings and Sadie, a woman in her late 20s with neat blonde hair, comes in. They smile at each other. Sadie.
Is this ScarJo?
Absolutely.
Is this ScarJo? Let's see.
Sadie.
ScarJo impression.
The
Let's
character's
go.
name is Sadie, but we're gonna
Call her ScarJo. That's
We're just
absolutely
letting
fine.
everyone know that now.
Oh wait, no. No.
Keep workshopping. You got this.
I like that our podcasts are usually like 45 minutes to an hour, and I feel like a solid 20 minutes of every podcast is Chris trying to read lines.
I'm trying to get. I want to do this justice as ScarJo.
Thank you.
Does she speak out of her mouth? Well, like part of her.
What did you say?
She kind of talks like this, doesn't she?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Southern accent.
I think you're thinking of Drew Barrymore.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking.
Because she has the. Anyway, Sadie comes in. They smile at each other. Sadie.
Okay, all right. I'm getting the ScarJo down. Just,
Okay.
Everybody, just turn away from me for a second. Well.
Okay, I'm not
do
looking.
Okay. Hi. I'm Black Widow, baby. Wait, no, she's not Cher, or is she?
Or is she?
Nope.
Okay,
we're gonna develop her as we go.
Okay, I like that.
On.
I'm a collaborative writer.
Wait, I'm trying that again. She's gonna be a little southern. She's
Perfectly
just like
fine.
Scarlett
Just commit to something, Chris.
Okay.
Just go with something.
After the day I've had, I could use something sweet.
Lucas laughs.
Oh, she's talking about Chris Evans. She's talking about Chris Evans.
And again, keep in mind that Lucas here is shirtless in jeans and just an apron.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I want everyone
right.
to keep that
Yes.
in their mind.
I'm surprised the landlord didn't comment on that.
Like, the landlord was just like,
He's used to
"You're
this
shirtless
shit.
every day, Lucas. I don't understand."
Maybe
You
this
can't
is
buy a
why
shirt.
the
You can't pay
bakery's
your
going
rent.
under.
It makes sense. Anyway,
After the day I've had, I could use something sweet.
Lucas laughs. Lucas.
What happened?
Sadie looks at the display, trying to decide what to buy. Sadie, offhandedly.
Oh, the usual. Arrogant, testosterone-filled jerks making stupid comments and lame passes at me. Also, my boss changed the deadline of my article, so I need to go to the merch sooner than I'd expect.
She points at the cupcake. He goes to take the cupcake out of the display case and put it on the counter.
Hey, maybe you want to come with?
A nervous look passes
met
over her.
before?
She realizes what she implied. He freezes with the cupcake in hand for a second and then puts it down. Quickly.
I'm gonna guess they have met before.
Yeah,
yes.
I think they've met before. I'm informing my character, folks.
Oh, yes, no, they're old friends.
I see. Old boxing partners. I mean, no pressure or anything. Just as friends.
She laughs nervously, blushing slightly. Lucas quickly.
Am I blushing?
Yeah. Friends, of course.
They share a look.
Yeah.
Share a look with me.
I'm trying to read the script. I can't share a look with you and read the script, Chris.
Oh my god. Now we're really old friends.
Yeah, I'd love to come. It sounds like fun. And,
you'd love to come. Yeah, you'd love to come, Lucas. Oh.
Lucas clears his throat nervously, trying to regain his composure, indifferently.
I could use a night off. That's not true, Lucas. You need to work to sell your cookies, or else you could go under.
That's true. They laugh nervously and share a look. After the moment, Sadie shakes her head, trying to regain her composure. She hands him $3 and takes the cupcake. Sadie.
Good. You'll see you there.
Oh, I didn't put an apostrophe. Lucas tries to give her her penny, but she refuses with a sly smile, having fully recovered.
You keep the change. Fuck you, Sadie. That's not cute. He's about to be homeless and without work. And you're like, take the penny, bitch.
It'd be one thing if it was like a $5 and some change. Like if her change was like $5 and she was like, keep it.
Sadie, you have to know that he's going through some rough times.
Well, even if you're not, as someone, like I worked as a server and I've definitely had people that were like, here's a dime, keep the change. And I'm like, I get paid $2.15 an hour that gets taken out in taxes. I live off of your tip. And you're giving me a dime thinking it's generous?
Nothing's better than an old lady opening her purse and just shaking out whatever loose change she has into your tip jar.
Right? Like, you think that sounds cartoonish, but I've seen that in real life.
It's like, could you just have shit in my tip bucket?
Don't be a 13-year-old who doesn't understand that tipping your servers a penny isn't flirting. Anyway.
That is the biggest turnoff.
Let's just finish this line, because anyway, she turns to leave. Lucas laughs and shouts after her. Lucas.
Gee, thanks, Sadie. You're so charitable.
I feel like that doesn't make it better.
It definitely doesn't, but at least, you know.
I see what you...
At least you semi-called it out.
Yeah.
Anyway, interior boxing arena night. Sadie and Lucas are sitting in their seats for the match. The boxing arena is dimly lit and loud with the ring in the center and the seats packed. Sadie has her pen and notepad with her and is watching the game intensely. Lucas is watching Sadie. Sadie turns to him and he looks at the game. She laughs. Sadie.
That's concerned. Lucas is watching Sadie. Just head tilted, just not even looking. It's like, hey babe, you mind looking anywhere else?
Like a side glance is a little bit flirtatious, but just straight up staring?
Maybe
it's a little weird.
Lucas is not over the 1 cent con. And you thought that was going to pay my rent?
Oh
it
gosh.
didn't.
Yeah.
It did not.
We just turned this whole script into an SNL bit.
Anyway, Sadie says,
so, how are you liking it?
Lucas looks back at her and she is waiting for an answer with intrigue. Lucas.
Well, it's interesting.
She smiles at him amused. Sadie.
Uh-huh. Go on.
He laughs.
I like that she's completely lost her southern accent.
We're moving towards ScarJo, one line at a time.
And that's fantastic. He laughs nervously and shrugs.
I guess once you've seen a million, they all blend together.
Sadie.
I guess that happens when your dad is some sort of boxing rock star.
Lucas laughs. Lucas.
Yeah, I guess after a while it becomes repetitive. There's only a certain number of ways each match can go, and I've seen them so many times, I could do it myself.
He turns back and a look passes over Sadie. Sadie.
Then why don't you?
Lucas looks back at her to see if she's joking. Lucas.
What?
Sadie.
Your business is going down the tube and you need more money. I mean, you said it yourself. You can do it.
I like that she's now becoming a Valley girl. What is happening with this character?
Isn't that ScarJo? Isn't that kind of ScarJo?
I have no clue where she's from, to be fair.
I watched the Avengers. Wait, no, she's Russian in the Avengers. Let's wait for the next line so I can work that out.
He laughs nervously.
Sadie, that's crazy. I can't do that. It's been years, and you really think I could? Wow,
Sadie
he
shrugs.
changed on a dime. Like halfway through that line, he was like, you know what? Maybe you're
Actually,
right.
you know
it's
what?
called a beat change,
I do
baby.
like male standards.
Yeah.
I do like male gender roles. Fuck baking. Fuck baking.
Sadie.
Yeah, I actually do.
He looks uncertain still.
Oh, come on. People would love you. Son of boxing champ steps into ring. Everyone loves a legacy. It could be great for me in the paper. We could do a bunch of articles and you can publicize your bakery. It's a win-win.
Ah, I see. So he's gonna keep the bakery, but also box. This is just the plot of Nacho Libre.
Or is this the $1 million?
Like, this just straight up is Nacho Libre.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm more
Oh my god, you know what? That makes
He
sense.
boxes or wrestles for the church.
The orphanage, yeah. Luke.
Great minds think alike. What can we say?
Yes, exactly. Okay, kind of a tangent, but one time my dad told me after watching me do a show, an improv show, he told me that I reminded him of Jack Black, and at the time I was 17 and I did not take that as a compliment. But now I'm like, you know what, Dad? Thank you. Lucas smiles slowly. Lucas.
Yeah, that could be good for business, and if it'll help you too, I'm all for it.
Never.
They smile at each other softly and share a moment. Sadie, softly with alternate meaning.
So, what are you waiting for?
Lucas.
Can we extend that breathing out? I want that to be a good 10 minutes of this podcast is just Chris breathing into the mic.
Also, they're at a wrestling match or a boxing match, so he definitely can't hear that.
Lucas.
I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
They move together as though they might kiss when suddenly the lights come back on. The match is over. They look at each other for a
Wait, the
moment.
lights were
Sadie,
off?
trying to ease the awkwardness, hugs him instead. Sadie.
What is this scene? What is happening? They're like, they just randomly meet and they're like, oh, let's go into business together. Let's do some cronyism. And they're like, well, I'm fucking horny right now. I guess this is our romantic impetus, I suppose.
Business partners,
Also,
life partners, they mix. What can I say? What I guess I poorly
nothing's
did
useful now.
it was supposed to be that they like each other. That they've been friends for a while, but they like each other. And they're like right about to, but then the plot happens. Anyway.
Yeah.
But
Damn,
then
Ren.
the plot always gets in there and stops people from dating because it would be a shorter production then.
I'd be boning
Exactly.
you so hard if it weren't
He has
for
to
this
go
plot
through
right
the,
now.
living out his daddy issues, becoming famous for whatever, having success.
Spoiler
And then,
alert!
what'd you say?
Spoiler alert! Now we know he gets famous.
Well, okay, it's after this 10-minute whatever. I didn't finish the script, but
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, we weren't going to find out anyway.
So, spoiler alert to what did not happen.
yeah, what did not happen in this version of the script. Anyway, Sadie, trying to ease the awkwardness, hugs him instead. Sadie.
Hug. Thanks, friend.
They turn away from each other, blushing. Lucas.
Yeah, no problem.
Interior boxing arena offices later that night. Sadie nudges Lucas towards a door that says, Jack Bryant, owner. Sadie, whispering.
Go!
He laughs nervously and knocks on the door. Jack.
Can you do an Irish accent?
Let's top the morning to you. Who is it?
Oh, that's good, folks.
Lucas shifts
Probably
awkwardly
not,
before
but-
answering. Lucas.
Lucas Weber, James Weber's son?
The door swings open to reveal a very shocked Jack. Jack.
Holy shit, you're the kid?
I kinda
Lucas.
like that.
One of the kids, actually.
Jack.
Ooh, what happened to the second brother? Or I guess, was it 2 children or 2 boys?
I think it's 2 boys, from what I wrote.
Will we ever meet the dead one?
I think you're just assuming he's dead.
I don't know.
I don't think I wrote him as dead. I think I just wrote him out. Jack.
Right, well, have a seat.
He points to one of the seats in his office, and Lucas and Sadie sit down. Jack is a handsome man in his... Is everyone handsome? Well, it's Hollywood. Jack is a handsome man in his early 40s with messy hair going in a few choice directions. He wears rectangle glasses and has an
Not that
eccentric air to
handsome,
him. His desk is littered with contracts and boxing magazines. He points to Sadie. Jack.
Who's this?
Push tissue.
Lucas.
Sadie, she's my friend.
Jack smirks. Jack.
You're a friend. Fascinating.
Lucas blushes slightly. Lucas.
Anyway, I'd like to ask you some...
Jack leans back in his chair. Jack.
Did you enjoy the match?
Lucas looks mildly annoyed by being interrupted. Lucas.
Yeah, it was great.
Jack murmuring.
Good. 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 guard.
Lucas.
But I wanted to know if you had room for another competitor.
I don't know what this was supposed to say, but it just says Jack. Jack?
it's
Jack!
It's Jack from The Incredibles. It says Jack and then Jack.
Yeah.
Jack just appears on
Jack's
camera
just
for
still
a second,
there.
saying nothing.
He just exists in that moment.
Anyway, Jack, so you're a boxer like your old man, eh?
Sadie laughs softly. Sadie.
Baker! Baker!
He's a baker.
Daddy laughs. Baker, bitch. You're a fucking baker. You're not a boxer.
Jack looks at Sadie as though he just noticed she was there. Jack.
What?
Sadie.
He's a baker, actually.
Lucas.
This is not helping.
Well, I mean, I am, but I'm not doing so well, and I figured...
Jack.
How long has it been since you've competed?
Lucas.
Well, never, but...
Jack.
Look, letting you on our team would be a huge gamble. So
Team?
you'll get your ass handed to you on a plate.
Team?
Yeah.
Are there boxer teams?
Well, it's like the boxing, it's the group. It's the group
represented
by the same guy.
Yes,
I
that's what
guess
I
so,
meant.
yeah.
Yes.
Like they're not
Understudy.
boxing as a team.
You're my
It's an
boxing.
understudy.
My
It's not
boxing
just like a gang
understudy.
fight. Yeah. Jack
This is
turns
team
back to
boxing.
Lucas. Oh, wait, nope, never mind. Sadie smiles serenely at Jack. Serenely, okay. Sadie.
She's about to tear a bitch apart. That's what I'm feeling from this.
Okay.
What about legacy? Everyone loves a good father-son story. And you'd be hosting it here. That's a lot of press for you, honey.
Honey.
I'm ad-libbing.
Yeah, listen, you can ad-lib. This is a shitty script. Jack turns back to Lucas. Jack.
I like this girl. She's a keeper. Remember that.
Lucas laughs. Lucas.
You better, you fucking Irishman. God damn it.
Yeah. So.
Haha, you have to laugh. Laugh. Laugh harder. This is not gently. You're not laughing softly.
So this is a yes? I can compete for you guys?
Jack.
Well, you'll have to go to the training. Twice as much as everyone else, but yes, you can join the team.
Lucas grins and shakes Jack's hand. Lucas.
Thank you. I won't disappoint you.
Jack.
Now, go and get a good night's sleep. We'll be expecting you tomorrow.
Jack smiles at them and they leave. Lucas.
Sadie, you were awesome. I couldn't do it without you. Really. Yeah, how about tomorrow to celebrate we go get tacos? I know they're your favorites.
Sadie smiles. Sadie.
I like that. I like that. She turns into Jar Jar Binks.
I do
at the
believe,
end.
yeah. No, I think she turns into Jar Jar at that moment. I think it was supposed to say I'd like that, but I think maybe if we could get the actor who did Jar Jar, I think that would also be. It was a toss-up between Scarlett Johansson and Jar Jar Binks.
And
Honestly, I understand. I understand the dilemma. Very
Yeah.
often when I watch, Black Widow, I'm like, I feel like Jar Jar Binks would have been a little bit more interesting of a casting choice.
Misa,
it
Black
was-
Widow.
George
Yeah.
Lucas said it was between Jar Jar and ScarJo. But
Jar Jar and
Hey.
Scar Jar.
Scar
Scar Jar is the next Star Wars protagonist.
Oh my
Oh my god, I love that.
And we don't know what happens after this.
No, because it was a 10-minute script for a class where I had to write a 10-minute script.
So in your mind, where does this go?
Okay, so obviously there's a little bit of a love, plot going on. Maybe not obviously, depending on how better I could have written this. But ideally, it's like the way I was thinking. I'm trying to tap into my 13-year-old self. The way I was thinking was, of course, he would go on, and at first, he would lose a little bit, and then he would get better, and then he'd be good, and then there'd be, the big boxing match where everything, the entire plot is hinged upon.
Yeah.
And, at that point, he'd have lost Sadie or whatever, because this is a romantic comedy also.
There has to be a breakup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've changed, Lucas.
Exactly,
You've
yes.
changed.
He's no longer the sweet, sensitive baker that she fell in love with. And
he's fallen in with Jack, and it's all about that money.
it's all about that money. The money and the fame and the girls, apparently that come along with boxing.
And the cookies.
And,
Don't forget
not the
about the
cookies as
cookies.
much anymore because he's spending all this time on boxing,
Does he even have employees
Does he have employees?
Literally
He
not
can't
there.
pay his rent. You think he hires people?
Oh, I just like the idea of like, when is your store open? I don't know. When I'm not boxing, I guess.
Honestly, though, that's something that's in a lot of scripts. Like, this is a common trope, you know, where like the person has a shop that they can't afford, and so like they have to go do another thing. But you're right, they don't have employees. So like, when does he run the shop? Like,
well, I mean, no one's there
terrible to not have
anyway.
consistent hours for your store.
No one's there anyway. He's saving on electricity bills.
Hey, you got that right.
I mean, I feel like when you're starting a business, I feel like rule one is like you got to go all in. You know?
Yeah, you can't be like, you know, my store's open when I want it to be open.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's definitely, as a 13-year-old, I did not understand how businesses were run. Also, it's a movie, so no one looks that hard into movies unless you're a film major or
That's
someone who actually looks at movies.
Yeah, the amount of movies that I watch where I'm like, hold on, this small detail doesn't add up, and everyone else is just like, Michael, shut up.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like,
it affects nothing.
but anyways, yes, this movie is, of course, ending where, you know, they are running the shop together, because that's, I guess, what happens when you're in a relationship, is you go into business with your partner for no reason.
If you're not working with your significant other, are you really significant others?
Exactly. So they get the bakery back, and I think also, like, he probably also boxes too, but that's not his passion, you know?
She boxes Jack for the love
Yeah,
of
I like to imagine that the climax of this is Sadie versus Jack in the ring.
Oh, okay, yeah. I feel like she could hold her own.
She probably can. Did you hear her? Did you hear her when she was saying, "Hey, listen here, you little bitch. My man. He's got what you want. He's got what you fucking need. You want your press? I'll never talk about your gym ever again. If you don't put
I will
my
quit
man
my
in
job
the
at this
ring."
newspaper as a sports reporter if you do not hire him on the spot.
You will be blacklisted.
Right. Well,
this is a story of cronyism.
Absolutely.
I enjoy this. Honestly, I think this might be one of the best scripts we've actually ever read
Aw,
on this podcast.
thank you.
Thank you for opening this up to us. Because again, this was it has potential to actually be really good. Which I don't think any of the other scripts we've read have had this much potential.
Aw, I love to have potential. That's the number one thing that people say about me, is I have potential that I don't live up to.
I would say you now are a pro. You as a 13-year-old, you had potential.
Yeah, it's a very solid script for a 13-year-old. My 13-year-old scripts were, you've seen them, you've heard them. They are bad.
Right.
They are not
to be
good.
fair, I did write a children's book when I was about 7 or 8.
What?
Not published, but like it's a big deal to me and my family.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean published? Was it published but not published?
Yeah, it's like other people read it. A lot of people read it. Like adults have read it. It was part of my, like, as I'm sure you could tell by my script and my potential that I don't meet up to. I was a gifted and talented child. I was in the gifted and talented program, and that book was my ticket in. They said, you write books on your own free time. Clearly, we need to put standards onto you. And
we need to.
Nothing helps the artistic community like standards.
Absolutely. They were like, she does stuff in her extra time. Obviously, something's cooking.
You know how you love a thing? We're gonna make it so that thing that you love gives you so much anxiety.
Let's make it a job.
Absolutely.
How about that?
Absolutely.
Turn all your hobbies into jobs, ladies and gentlemen.
That's why. That's why I'm pursuing a career in musical theater.
What are you doing with your life? That's the moral.
Yeah. No, that's turning your hobbies into jobs. That's why I'm, pursuing a musical theater as a job, even though I don't know if it's an industry anymore.
It might never come back, folks.
Don't say that.
In a realer sense, it is okay to have hobbies.
No, absolutely.
No, we do not endorse hobbies here at Shitfic. You are not allowed to have hobbies.
I like that every time, every episode, I try to be like, hey guys, Life is good. It's okay to have hobbies. You're always just
You're like, either your work is perfect or it's terrible and we read it on this podcast.
Exactly. There is no happiness here.
There is no middle ground. There's no writing for yourself. It's just writing for the podcast or writing for sale.
Exactly.
I think that's why we balance each other out pretty well.
Yeah, I'm sad and you're happy. It's how we work.
With all of that being said, Chris, we have to give this script our rating. Is it shit fic or is it the shit?
Let's see. Do we give separates?
No, it's all on you. What's your rating?
It's all on me. You know. It's very competent. It's a very competent script.
Thank you.
If you told me that this came from Jack Sparrow, no, he's not a real person.
Okay, we're gonna give it the shit.
I'm not giving it the shit quite yet.
Okay.
Quite yet. I need to grill you.
I'm on a roller coaster
here. An hour. Okay, everyone, that wraps about this episode of Shit Fic.
Fine. We're taking a break, folks. We have another hour. Keep listening.
The post show where I talk in detail about every minute detail about this script.
Yeah, we want to go into the linguistics.
We want to go into the pressing question, is Lucas gay, really? Which was presented at the beginning of the script reading. And I think that, as an older person who has found out that maybe things can be gay, subconsciously, as if to say, I wrote this before I came out, and now that I am out, I see where things are gay in my writing. And I'm like, girl, babes.
I think that's the name of this episode. I see where things are gay.
I see where things I love that.
Some of my other writing as a child and preteen, it was so much more exemplary of, no one was going to tell her,
Did nobody want to tell me that I'm gay? Anybody want to know?
I feel like if someone had just, looked at my fanfiction.net account and gone, Shira, we need to sit down. We need to have a real talk about this. That would have saved so many years.
It really, honestly. Oh, Lord, the pre coming out times where you're like, guys are attractive, but that doesn't make me gay. I mean, you can find a guy attractive and not be gay, but like, clearly that wasn't my intention, folks.
I'm just really good at writing women. Yeah. Very descriptive about it.
Exactly. And then you leave the other ones.
And then I'm like, also there were men there.
They were there. They existed.
They existed.
They were there for purely diversity purposes.
She was beautiful. The stars lived in her eyes. She was not the love interest. It was a boring man.
Your love interest. Yeah, okay, would you like to plug anything?
We're wrapping this up. Before we do, though, plug where people can find you and follow you and say hi to you.
Yeah, I put every thought I've ever had on Twitter. A Shira in my own heart. So a Shira in my heart at ASHIRA capital IN capital MY heart HEART. And my name on that is Brunette Susan Sarandon. And then I opened up the wrong app. And then on Instagram, you can follow me at Shira Queen of Power because Shira Princess of Power was taken.
Well, we love it.
We love it.
But yeah, so to wrap things up, we want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I had a blast.
We look forward to having you back in the future.
Yes, I'd love to.
Will.
Absolutely.
I want to thank Sydne, who is our wonderful producer. Without her, again, none of us would exist. Yeah. She created the universe, life, and all of that.
She is God.
Yeah, Sydne is God.
True queen. Queen.
I want to thank Ryan Tucker. He's the one that made that wonderful song that you hear playing at the beginning and the end of all of our podcasts. Mm-hmm. Without him, we wouldn't have the beautiful music. And it's so good. It's such a good song. And you can follow him at Rytuck Music. And then I want to thank Chris.
Well, what about Sam?
What? I'm still thanking people.
Okay. I wanted to be the last one, but it's fine. It's fine.
I wanted to be. Okay, all right, you do the thank yous then, Chris.
Oh, we're starting over? Okay.
Not starting
Hi,
over.
Shira.
Just thank
Would
Sam.
you like to
From
plug?
the beginning.
Would you like to plug?
Just thank Sam.
Would you like to plug?
Thanks, Sam, Chris.
Okay. Anyways, hi, folks. It's me, Christopher. You may know me from a podcast called what is this called? Shitshin Fiction. Shiction Fiction.
I want to thank
Shitshin
Sam for
Fiction.
doing the marketing for this podcast. Chris looks so offended that I interrupted him.
Well, I was now Shiction Fiction is gonna be cut, and it hurts. It hurts.
I want to thank Sam.
Can you mention? Can you say Shiction Fiction and then credit me with coming up with that hilarious joke?
We won't. How about we just don't cut this? Sydne's laughing so hard.
Fiction.
Yeah, this is not getting cut, Chris.
Okay.
All right, so I want to thank Sam for doing the marketing.
Okay, thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sam.
And now, finally, I want to thank Chris.
Huh?
However, I kind of don't want to thank Chris.
Oh.
We've hit that point.
Oh my lord.
No,
Anyways, folks, I'd like to thank Christopher Beal for being silenced, for being stabbed through the heart on this Fiction Day. And
I'm the one that drives him home. This is gonna be a real interesting conversation. I drive him home.
Let's start the entire podcast over. I'd like to thank Michael.
Interior.
You know, frankly, I'd like to thank Michael. Peter? Patrick.
Okay. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for our listeners for tuning in to another wonderful episode. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like it. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to share it.
Oh.
Yeah, it definitely
helps us. It helps us, please.
It really does. So,
applepodcast.com/ I don't know what the URL is.
Either way, if you're listening on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, whatever it is, make sure to like, follow, subscribe, all of that stuff. We really appreciate it. And we appreciate you listening. And just make sure to share it as well. Again, we're a burgeoning podcast. We're trying to get the word out there. So again, share it with everyone you know. But thank you guys so much for listening, and this has been another episode of Shitfic.
Shitfic!